Greg. Mike. Two bandits. Watching Bluey.
This episode is called Fairytale.
What up, party people, and welcome
There he is.
to episode 130.
130.
Two bandits
I've got it
watching
down.
Bluey.
That's right.
I'm your good pal, Greg Painter. If
I
I
see
get my
him
name
right
right,
there.
and with me,
Yep.
he writes his name on his undies, and his name is
Do I really? I go by Mike Martin.
Michael. How are you today, sir?
I have never had my undies with names stitched upon them. I apologize.
Oh,
I don't know if
that's
that's happened in
harsh.
your life.
I don't
But-
know. Of all things, not to get into it too early, but of all things to worry about losing,
Undies?
undies, I'm not sure if that's
Undies?
high on my list.
Bandito. Bro. You got a couple nervous problems. But I am here today. I am feeling great. It's a gorgeous sunny day out here in Syracuse. We both have a little our voices are a little bit clumped today. We're a little held back. So
A little bit. I'm working through some feels, working through some illnesses, but
we're here today, man.
it's
all good.
fairytale time.
It is
I'm
time
not
for Fairytale,
tapping
man.
out a fairytale because this, when we get to brackets,
Okay.
it's gonna be up there.
Okay.
This is
When does
an
brackets happen?
awesome
Is that tomorrow?
episode.
Is brackets tomorrow?
Brackets is not
When's
tomorrow.
brackets? Brackets is
We've got a good chunk of weeks. We're only like
Okay.
6 or 7-ish into this round of bracket Tonys.
I rely on you for bracket
That's what I
Scheduling.
do. That's why you keep me around.
for the scheduling and the brackets. But I'm not here to talk about brackets.
We're here to talk about Fairytale, but first,
Oh, gosh.
let's see what our pals at Wiki Bluey have to say about Fairytale.
Does Fairytale go higher than Midnight? No. Hey Greg.
Midnight Season 2.
I know. If we go to
Oh, if we ever have a...
Champion.
Ooh, dun dun dun.
Greg, what? Hey Greg.
Yeah.
What's a fairy tale, man?
Dad tells Bluey and Bingo a real-life fairy tale about growing up in a wild place called the 80s. About a boy who was cursed when he was mean to his little brother.
It is the 80s, Pat.
It is the 80s, my friend. And that's one thing that's missing here. Little Pat.
No Pat? Oh, that would have been great if there was like a
This has
especially if there was like a pass the parcel or something like just slightly, just a moment. Oh,
because we do get some background doggos that I definitely want to talk about.
yeah!
And I have a wild theory about one of them.
I'm for it. Is it Nana's perm?
But we're not. We'll talk plenty about Nana's perm. Including how? But that's
What?
not how we start.
That's Nana.
We
Nana-
start in the present.
We don't ask questions. Nana
Start in the
closes the
here and
door
now.
and she comes out with a perm. Go ahead. Yes.
Bandits reading Hansel and Gretel the girls.
Dude,
I enjoy that was a wild ride. What?
do you know why, right?
Because that's not Disneyfied. We're cooking
Hansel and
witches.
Gretel aren't around no more.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's a Grimm's brother tale. Hansel and Gretel get eaten.
I thought Hansel and Gretel kill the witch in the end of it.
Not
and-
in the real version.
Really?
Not in the Grimm's version.
Are
They
you
get
sure about that?
It's
Sure about
You
that?
think they get away? Do they get away?
I think it's a wild ride because they cook the witch.
Either way,
Either way, it's a wild ride.
someone ain't making it out of that hut. I guess you could say, and not a Pizza Hut.
Yeah, I always thought the Disneyfied version was they just like
I'm
escape,
betting it now.
and not that they just. I'm sure there's versions.
I'm
all
literally
over
gonna
the
look up.
place.
Do Hansel and Gretel survive?
There's like a Hansel and Gretel Netflix movie or something like that. I think.
In the original version of the fairy tale by the Grimm brothers, for Hansel and Gretel, the witch dies when Gretel pushes her into the oven.
Yeah.
Touche. Well done.
We
Yes.
were trying to fatten up Hansel to eat him, and Gretel was the chambermaid
She
or
said,
whatever. you wanna call
nah. The children then steal the witch's treasure and return
it.
home.
Nice.
Oh, good.
Take that, witch.
So you had a Bluey and Bingo that said, nope.
Either way, wild ride.
Wild ride. And he looks away. He's just like, whoa. That was more than I expected.
It's like, I thought I got the Disney version of this. Whoops. And then poor Bingo was like, are fairy tales real or no? And he's like,
That's
no,
a
not
fun
real.
question.
Phew. That was a close one.
That's a fun question. True or not? She's like, is this for real life? Maybe. No.
But this leads us in. Some bits are true, but most aren't. But I have a real life fairy tale for you. Want to hear it?
Ooh, and he gets
We get double
bro
story
mode.
time tonight.
You get bro mode. He relaxes, like he lies down a little bit. And the thing that's cool about it, because it's not the typical, as we're 130 episodes deep, it's not the typical episode that you see, like just the intro of the house. It goes right to him reading, and then while he's reading, it's not music in the background, even though it is Joff Bush credited for music and all that because it's great. There's crickets in the background, so it's just like.
Oh, I haven't even really noticed.
It's
that.
very quiet where he's talking to them, and you just hear crickets in the background, like they should be sleeping.
Just hearing more 80s synth. I mean, that was just in my head. Though.
That's what kicks in about 8 seconds because this 7-minute episode kicks in hard.
It's so good. It's a real life fairy tale about a mean brother that ends good, and it has curses and princesses.
Bandits,
everything.
Such a bum.
What do you mean?
Oh my gosh! What do you mean? What do you mean?
I know it. I know it was real because it happened to me. You mean Bandit now or a Little Bandit?
Literally Bandit.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yes. Not the friendliest young young doggo you have ever met. I promise you. But you need the flashback us.
The story is set a long time ago in a magical place called the 80s.
What's the 80s, man?
God,
Hey, Greg.
I love it.
What's the 80s?
You were born in the 80s. You know just
I was born in
me,
the
young
80s.
fella.
Yes, indeed, sir. Yes,
I
indeed.
do like because I mic'd it a little bit here.
Uh-oh.
And on
Is
the
that a good thing or a
wiki
bad
article-
thing, man?
On the wiki article, I did a little exploring. They're setting this at around 1988,
Sure.
based on I guess there was like you see an 8-track or something that's of Bad Medicine, and that song
It's a
came out in
cassette.
88,
I'm
89
calling it.
cassette.
I'm saying it's a cassette.
Okay, single.
Single.
So
Single
that
cassette.
puts Bandito right around the 42, 43-ish year range.
It was Bad Medicine that had the cassette tape pulled out of it, and there was one next to it that looked like it said Tears for Fears, I think, was the one on the side. And there was another one I couldn't read that was the bottom right-hand corner that I couldn't quite figure out. Those ones were, but seats were high on the bikes. So you know what? Did you?
I
don't-
completely
Go ahead.
beefed
Oh.
the brothers' ages. I always assumed before this episode, Bandit was older brother, Stripe was middle, Rad was Litly.
Yep.
Because Rad's kind of the aloof one. All the way wrong.
Rad's just living rad life and
Should
came
realize
across
that Bandit's got a middle child syndrome with how over the top he can be.
that makes sense because, and it makes sense with Stripe being like, oh yeah, watch this, brother. And he does the extra. He's always extra. He's always like, oh, I got this beautiful house now. Watch this. I'm going to do extra, extra. Which is interesting too, actually, because if Bandit's middle and Stripe is the youngest, well, that does make sense then, doesn't it, with the kids?
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking like Muffin and Socks, but they're both younger
They
than
are.
Bingo and Bluey. So touche. No, I was trying to correct myself, and I flubbed that.
I like the way they told the story too, and they just assume the kids can see what we're seeing as well. Like when they're on the bikes, where were your helmets? Like he's not saying like we were riding our bikes without. Like it's very, very fourth wall,
It's
whatever.
great with that, where it's just like we're bouncing on trampolines. No nets, no nets. And you
One
see
of my
the
favorite lines in any episode. It was the 80s. Love that line. Trampolines with no nets. Your mom wrote your name on everything. Hey, Mike,
yeah.
who's Richie J?
I have no idea.
Because Richie
But
J's name is all
Over.
over everything.
yes,
So
and
I just took. I did. There's a lot of freeze frames.
there's a
I
lot in
didn't-
this episode. Yes.
We had a troll doll dog head.
Yep.
We had undies. I'm going to say He-Man, He-Dog, undies.
Hugh he dog.
We had that little pencil guy that you would put
The
on your
little
finger. The
thing. Yeah.
We had a Walkman.
Yep.
We had a journal. And then my favorite one, a pen with his name written in pen on the pen. And that was just like a hat and a hat. And it made me happy.
His guaranteed. Richie is guaranteed to have that pen. It's fantastic.
BMX bikes were high.
The
Music was on cassettes. And skids were big.
skids were big. It shows the trampoline jumping in the butt. Did you experienced did you have chain link fence with in backyard or anything like that? Or have you tried to climb a chain link fence? Let me
I
change
have
that.
not. No.
Oh, really? Oh, it's as somebody that walks around barefoot now, chain link fence, beneficial for barefoot because you try to put your shoe in there. Doesn't happen.
You climbing fences there, he had.
Because I had chain link fences in my when I was growing up. That's why I'm curious.
We were country, very country. There was no fences in the country.
Open fields. Okay,
Exactly.
sorry. My apologies. Skids.
Poor Stripe can't skid.
No, you can't.
The
Still has a
boy-
folded ear.
The voice actor for Bandit, I'm gonna say they did a great job being a jerk, because that is the most. It's like, you're such a bully,
Such
Bandit.
a bully. So the way he,
Can't skid, Stripe. Mom wants you. Made you look, you dirty chook.
when they pull in and they do the back and forth, the neener, it's great.
Oh, there's no back and forth. It's just forth.
But Rad looks at Bandit and he's mad at Bandit. He has like furrowed brows. He's frustrated with him, and he looks at Stripe and he's cheerful and he smiles every time it goes back and forth and back and forth. It's eyebrows down, eyebrows up, eyebrows down, eyebrows up.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, dude.
Do you know what a chook is?
I would say chook is a type of bird.
Ooh, nailed it in one. Chicken.
Really?
Pretty much calling somebody chicken.
Let's go.
Kids outraged. You're teasing Stripe. Yeah, it's about a bad brother. Me. The shock.
The teaser.
How could you?
The teaser.
Our father.
The one and only. He came in hot.
You know what? This is my favorite thing.
Oh,
But
wow.
not my favorite thing.
Spoiler. No, go
But
ahead.
one of my favorite lines
I'll cut
of
it in.
anything ever. I don't know why. I just
That's fine.
laughed so much. Hey, Stripe, your wheels are turning.
Oh, man.
It's just such a... Dude, yeah, it's a bike, but just
Wheels are
crash.
turning.
Hilarious.
Oh, and the rewind that they do there, they do like not the fourth wall vibe.
Oh,
but
after the jinx,
VHS-y.
after Rad does the jinx, and they pause the VHS, and you got a little bit of the tracking.
Oh,
And we get it in slow mo. Jinx.
world, that was cinematic perfection. This episode does so many things that are so sneakily lovely, and it's so spot on. The replay is spot
perfect.
on. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't care what you pick, what your favorite thing is today. I have 5 things on my list.
I also have multiple favorite things and favorite characters. So
even though I'm usually first too, is like I'm gonna pick number 3. It's gonna happen because now you got 10 seconds.
yeah, because in the
tag.
80s, if 2 people say the same word at the same time, you have 10 seconds to touch them. Oh, you can't speak ever again.
Ever, unless to say your name.
Now I have a few things.
Okay, I felt like this was gonna be the moment that you paused and took 80 notes. Paused and took 80 notes because
One of them.
I have a few, and I was like, this is just really cool. This is a great animation scene because Bandit is chasing Rad,
Yes.
and you're gonna get a cut to 5 things they run by in that moment, and it is so cool.
So first things first.
Sure,
Doggo, who is in his lovely undies,
of course,
his purple undies, basically,
getting some fish and chips, man.
getting some fish and chips. 50-cent ice cream cones. Take me
down for
back,
it.
please.
I'm down for fish and chips and some ice cream cone.
Second
man.
in that scene, we have the doggo who's at the video game table.
Yep.
That is the same doggo who bounces off the trampoline.
Oh, someone that flubs it?
Yeah.
With the
no-
chain
no
link
nets.
fence? Oh, no!
Thing 2,
Yes.
where'd it go? Not a visual medium, but thing 2, this guy in this trailer,
Don't
trust him. Don't trust him for a second. I want to know what his hat says.
I couldn't
tried to
figure it
zoom in
out.
and zoom in. It just looks like
It looks like it says cursed something or...
something and Ripple 6. But he's just for our friends at home. This is the dog with the black and white hat and the purple tie-dye shirt, whose yard is destroyed. He has Polaroid pictures on the ground outside of his hut. We've got a loose crab on the ground. Dude's sketch.
He does not trust.
There is, I'm pretty sure, a jar of dressing outside of his house, just in the Aussie sun.
That guy's just living his worst life.
And lastly, and most importantly,
Yes.
while they were running by, there is a dog in the background here Is that Cool Guy Dog? Just without his glasses?
Ooh, he's got.
You know, because there's Cool Guy Dog. Last we saw him was at Nana's. Outside
got-
Nana's. So is he?
Does
Is Cool Guy Dog an
have
older doggo?
flopped ears? Is the question? Does he have stripe ears?
We
I
might
think
ha-
we can officially say those are stripe ears.
Stripe
A
ears.
flopped ear is the flopped ear, the stripe ear.
But just that 10-second run, I don't think I've paused this show this much.
Oh, boo! Yes, I disagree.
Really?
We're 100. We're 130 episodes in. We have paused. But it was rapid round because when I don't even know which one it was. I think it was the first one. We were at the fish and chip shop. They have a magazine rack, and that's what I was looking at. And they have.
Oh.
Maybe is that Double
that's
Dragon
coming
time?
up. That's
Okay,
coming up.
We haven't gotten there yet
We
then,
haven't
because there
gotten
is
there.
a magazine rack that's got a whole bunch going on too. So it's just
Well, actually, that's coming up right now because then we say,
they're playing Double
hey,
Dragon.
hey, Mike, do you know what skint is? You have to say skint.
Put it. Could you put that into a sentence for me?
No. Skint means
Okay.
basically poor.
Okay.
According to that, it's a British slang for poor.
How's it used?
I don't know, but in this, it's like if they don't touch you in 10 seconds, they say skint, then you can't talk ever again. So
So you're lesser in that moment. Okay.
you were cursed.
You're cursed.
And you have to say
Yeah. That's a boo. Yeah.
the name
You're skint.
to break it, and then we get a nice little montage of
Bun-
names not being said.
Dandy.
Speaking of
And Dubby.
Double Dragon time, Double Dog.
Sure.
First off, that in itself was awesome. And were you about to do the magazine rack?
I have some on the magazine rack. Ready?
Yes.
You gonna back and forth this a little bit?
Yes.
Because there's a magazine rack sitting next to the Double Dragon game.
$1.30. Good deal for a magazine.
Uh-huh. I've got I'm gonna go with my most confusing last. So I'm gonna say that I see one that has Wolverine, I think. on it.
Yep.
Okay. What do you have?
So Wolverine was a good one. My favorite one was, and I really hope they pick this up for $1.30 because this thing's worth a ton of money today. Action Comics #1, Superman.
Is that a Superman magazine or
the
comic?
the third one over, where it's the dog lifting a car over its head. That is, and I will Google it up in your Google machine. Just type in Action Comics 1, and that is the first ever appearance of Superman. And it might even tell you when you do this how much it costs right now. Like if you wanted to pick up an Action Comics 1. Let's see, yeah, Superman lifting the car there. The first ever appearance of our pal Superman.
Let me type in the word eBay with it too, because eBay is gonna be our friend here.
I doubt it'd be on eBay, but I think I'll
For a million. Okay, so
Like, I
so
basically-
one goes for 2.5 million.
that I would buy.
Which is
Yes. Oh, I wouldn't buy it, but I would believe it.
But there is one going for 200 American doll hairs.
That's got to be a reprint then, because that is one of the most famous and
Really?
sought after comics. So I found it very interesting that it was on.
$3,400. Does that sound
Probably.
more friendly? And we'll do one more for $15. So it goes from 2.5 million down to $20.
So that might be
Find
how
your-
Stripe got all of his money. He must have picked up that comic,
Ah!
sold it 20 years later. But what else do we have?
I'm very confused. You know what? I'm gonna go for it. There's a kangaroo that looks like it's flexing, and it has red lines, bullet pointing countries, and I have no idea what this means.
Where are you seeing that one? Do
It
you have a
is-
screenshot or no?
I do not. I can make it happen if you
Was
want
that
to
on the
find another
magazine?
one.
Was that on a magazine rack too, or is that? something
Yeah,
else
it was
that I
on the
see?
magazine rack. I'm here with it, man. We'll
Because
figure
I
this all
saw
out.
one that I was going to call Captain America.
Oh, this needs
At
to
least it
happen
looked like
right
to
now.
me right next to Wolverine. This guy right here.
Oh, you have the screen cap right there.
Not a visual medium, but yeah.
Go left and up.
Left and up. This guy?
More up. More up. That.
This?
Keep up.
There's no more up for me.
Oh, no.
But anyway, we've got the Captain America. We've got, I'm going to say Fonzie.
I think it's Fonzie with the leather jacket.
The leather jacket. Then we have some Kung Fu doggos. We've got a car that looks like it's saying LOL, which I don't think existed in the 80s.
Oh, we're here for this now. We're into it, folks.
But boy howdy, that we're I think it's a little bit back still. Be patient with us. Oh, you missed it.
I know. This.
That helps. Oh, above it.
It's a poster. It's not even a magazine.
Poster, okay.
That's a poster, and it's a kangaroo, and it looks like she has just a dumbbell in her hand.
Get jacked,
and
kangaroo.
there's a whole bunch of red lines going all over the world. What's happening on that poster?
Interesting. I don't know that one.
That one I don't have, and also I have Car Magazine.
Car magazine.
There's a Car Magazine.
It's great. We even have, they don't make a big deal of it, but we even have the cigarettes behind the counter of the shopkeep
Yeah.
there to the left. So
It's the 80s.
It's the 80s, man.
Pat.
I just realized after saying all that, I could have scrolled one picture over and I didn't have the full shot.
Gregory.
Whoopsie doodle.
I appreciate you, sir.
I appreciate
We're
you
doing
too.
teamwork here.
I like how cheap everything is though. 90 cents, 50 cents.
It is.
The
Inflation,
80s
man.
were fantastic.
80 cents for some chips.
I also, speaking of fantastic, Stripes headband.
I was going to say the same thing just now.
I feel like that's something. I feel like I feel it's probably like a 90s memory, but is that like a Stay By Me thing? Or Stand By Me?
With that kind of
With
headband?
that kind of headband? I feel like that's in some movie, and I can't remember which one.
I'd wear it.
You could rock that headband, I believe it.
I would rock that headband. Absolutely. Goodness
Want me
golly.
to say your name, Banditums?
What happens if you speak?
I don't know if I should tell you.
I
I looked it up. So my thought on it,
on Jinx?
on Jinx, was you just get
Okay.
punched.
Makes sense. That's a good one.
According to Aussie rules, you get punched per word, and you are still jinxed.
Oh. Oh.
That's tough.
That's a wee bit more intense than you can speak now. I just punch you once. It's, you say, can I go to the bathroom? Can I go to the bathroom? 6 punches? What?
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Healers are a fairly short-haired breed.
Typically.
How in the world does Nana have that perm? How in the world that mile-high perm?
I don't have an answer. I don't. I wanted to come up with
Can you
something
at least
really
tell
witty
me
and funny.
What
and be
crumbed
like,
fish is?
what's that?
Can you at least tell me what crumbed fish is?
It's breaded. Not
Well, no.
battered. Breaded.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, battered's just like fried then, right?
Battered is like a beer batter or like a standard batter, and then you drop it in and you fry it. And then when you do a breaded, it doesn't have that thick battery like an onion ring. Sometimes you'll find an onion ring that's battered, and you could also do just standard breaded, which is just a little bit of breading versus like a wet soaked coat to put it into.
Oh, ew.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. Oh.
Crumbed?
No, breaded.
Oh, I was
Or
about to say battered. Okay, crumb
Battered
sounds
all
okay.
day.
Now I know why crumb is gross.
Yeah,
Thanks.
crumbed is like, it's basically a thinner breading. It's just breading. So it's battered or breading.
Got
Is
it.
what you're looking at. So crumbed is breading.
Don't you
in my
love-
head? I don't know. Prove me wrong.
Don't you love it, Ben Dishwasher? Got him.
Go. Oh, poor bandit there too.
Poor children seeing the dark side of Nana here in a minute. With Who Eat the Mini Cereals, he did it.
Oh,
and
cold.
chasing him down
Blooded.
with the thong in her hand.
Cold.
Time for a good old fashioned 80s whooping.
Blooded. I love it.
Moms were allowed to be mean in the 80s.
Mom, give us the 80s.
Dads were no much better.
You know what's funny about all that? And it comes to the whole playing outside until the lights come on kind of thing. Is we don't live in that time anymore. Like, it's very weird because I, as a person, had a time that I would go play hide and seek in my neighborhood, and I would come home when I heard my mom whistle. She had that high pitch whistle that she could do, and it was almost like an alert of like, come home. I can't see myself doing that.
No,
per se.
sadly. At least where we are here. I'm sure other places. I can't remember what I told you, but when we were doing Iceland research,
Sure.
I guess it is not uncommon to go to a coffee shop and see a stroller outside the coffee shop with a baby still in it.
Sure.
While the moms are inside having their coffee and just leave the kid outside in the Scandinavian way. Air
Sure.
quotes. Yeah.
And that's
Not doing that here.
It's not the 80s anymore.
It's not the
and
80s,
it's
Pat.
not the 2020s in Iceland, Greg. It's where we are, sir.
Hey,
Oh.
Mike, let's see who can shout the loudest.
Ah!
You're going to win today.
Sorry, listeners. Oh, that's true. Greg doesn't have a voice today, so I do apologize for that, folks.
Poor Bob. First of all, Bob's got a full ear now. He's not missing that hunk of his ear that he's
okay
missing
right
in the
now.
future. So things are looking better for old Bob.
CC. I love that. I love it. I love it.
Do you know what Bob is doing?
Oh,
That-
he's shucking.
He's doing what?
He's shucking. He's shucking, not oysters, but he's cleaning up for. I've looked this up like a year and a half ago. I don't have the direct answer right now.
He is not shucking.
Okay.
He is using what is called a yabby pump.
Yep, that's what I said. There.
It's a piston that sucks up sand with the goal of digging yabbies out of their burrow to use as bait. And then I had to type in, what's a stinking
yabby?
It's basically an Aussie lobster.
Okay.
So, I think smaller. But from the pictures of it, they just look like happy little mini lobster guys.
Loving their lives.
Love
That's
it.
fantastic. That's forgot. That's so good. That's so good.
Bob, Parent of the Year here. Not even realizing it's a game. Hey there, Stripe, Rad, Gerald.
Gerald?
Doesn't even know. Again, middle child
He's
syndrome.
only got 3! It's...
Oh, you let me say your name? You're dreaming, mate. You know what I call this? A good start. That is such a great 80s dad line. And just the eyes of the other kids, like, ugh.
He's like, 1 out of 3. 1 out of 3. If I can keep him quiet, this is great. He's living a life. He's shucking up what?
What do I got to do?
What's he shucking up again?
Yabbies.
Yabbies.
Yabby dabby do.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Wants to drink the rest of them? How do we do it? Just a little Bobby. Just
jeez.
delightful.
It.
And now it's lesson time. Oh, do we have something before lesson time?
Well, he said it's funny because Dad said, "How can I jinx this?"
Yeah.
And it kind of gave me something that was passed down to Bandit, where it had like mini bingo vibes, where it's like 2 bingos, double bingo. This is great. Like,
Except it's the 80s, so you don't care about hurting your kid's feeling.
He's just like, oh, so how do I jinx the other 2? He's like, how do I do this? 'Cause I'm just here doing work, and they're screaming a lot. Sorry, Rad, but Rad's the one that shows up saying, hey, he's like, scream louder. Let's do it.
Nana shows up. Not going to say your name, but you got to use the time to think because you've been pretty mean to Stripe this whole vacation. What? I didn't look this one up. Is Tic Tac just a skateboard trick?
Is what?
Tic Tac. Because I do like the little, you can't Tic Tac, Stripe.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Nice tack.
Oh.
Tough. So have a good think about it. Another great line. Nana was right. Not about the perm, but about Stripe.
Not about the perm is on my list because it's him reflecting. He's like, Nana was right. Not about the perm. Gosh, no, nobody's right about the perm.
But the kid's still nervous. Like, well, then how'd you break the curse? Or should I be punching you the entire time you're telling the story?
Apparently. Oh, that's true.
It was the next morning on the way to the shower block. Poor Stripe stuck in prickle grass.
So
even the grass is dangerous in Australia?
this is where it brings back that it's okay for the kids to go out and about. Not to say you can leave them in a stroller outside of a coffee shop, but he's
Just
like,
go to the shower block.
I just had to go brush my teeth.
Alone?
Just going to brush your teeth. And I have memories of doing that when we were camping, where I walked like a half mile to go to a bathroom when we stayed up in the Thousand Islands, and I would go brush my teeth, and I would go to the showers. And I went when I was 7 or 8, and just went there to random bathrooms and brushed my teeth.
And you're still here with us.
Hey, I'm here. We're good.
By
We
God's
both have
grace
voices.
alone.
Yeah, we got this today.
We've got
And
this.
it's interesting that doesn't exist now, but it did then. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you
It's
mean.
the 80s, Pat. You know, like it's not the 80s.
We unfortunately know more about the world now. The best that we get, we have a playground, a
all
campground that we
Fairytale,
go
man.
to, that we specifically end up staying at the campground where we can see the playground from that site,
Right.
so that we can give them the sense of freedom, but still see them the entire time when
Not
they're doing
walking
that
to the
thing.
random bathroom stalls that
2 miles away.
Bandit can go to.
I don't like walking myself to those in certain places, so. But Stripe is saved by his brother. Thanks a lot, Bandina. And the kids are just like shocked. And Bandit's like, that's brothers, man. And I'm proud of him.
That's how it works. Same. The moment that happened, he's like, no, Stripe made the right move. Like I've been a jerk butt to him for the past how long, and he had a chance to one up his brother. Oh yes, always.
So how'd the curse break? And I don't know why. Not a full-blown tear moment, but this moment gets me to choke up still here too.
Sure.
When Chili / not Chili, depending on if you believe in fairy tales, shows up and says, "Bandit healer."
Oh, she.
And we get that flash of she or Chili. And the kid's like in shock. Is that mom? Yep. Nope.
I'm going to say it now, and it's probably not true. And I heard it the first time, and I thought it, and I wrote the note down. It's probably not true. Is Bingo's voice actress / actor Chili's flashback voice actor?
I have no idea.
That's right. You know how like we are not credited for the voice actors when it comes to the kiddos?
That sounds similar to you?
It sounded so similar that Bingo's voice sounded like because Chili's color pattern is very similar. Yeah. I'm just pulling at like the most like highest hanging fruit.
Pull those strings.
And I heard it and I was like, that kind of sounds like Bingo, but it might not be. But if it is, and I found the right thing, then I'm claiming dibs.
Go you, maybe. But it's so cute of a moment and such a good... and she's like, we did used to stay there, but I don't remember that.
This is where Chili shows up, too, in the story. Where she's like, oh, you're telling that story again, huh?
Because he would remember that a lot better than her. Mm-hmm. She just saw a hat on the ground and picked it up and handed it to a boy.
Bandit
and it was in the middle of a game.
Beep.
But that was him getting his voice back.
Does it also have... I'm going for like the weirdest fruit to grab here. It gives me like a camping vibe.
Yep.
Too.
100 million%.
My dude!
100 million%. I feel like this gives credence to the Jean-Luc Bluey versus Bluey Mackenzie.
Because it's just... How do they meet again? How do they see each other again? Is it possible? Well, no, they didn't. They met in London at a party with the
That's
Queen.
debatable.
Yeah. Like...
Which also gives a good shout out to that. Like, it's debatable how we met. Just, this is one of those ones that's for us. They don't need to do a tape stopping in the middle with tracking lines. Kids aren't, because I can't remember what I was looking at, but there's something, and Bluey, which is a show for kids age 0 to 6. Was like,
yep, not 35 to 45, 55, whatever we are.
Dude. 0 to 6, pshaw.
I don't think you ever find out how Bandit and Chili met. I don't think that's going to happen.
We find out right here, right now, because that's how they met. I believe in fairy tales, Mike. This is how they meet.
That's what makes this episode even extra. Is this real?
Is this origins? Of course it is.
And Bandit's like, do you believe in it?
Yeah.
Boom.
I believe in fairy tales. I believe that elves are real in Iceland. I believe that magic exists at Disney. Mm-hmm. I believe. Just like
fairies?
Ted Lasso. I believe.
Fairies?
Of course.
Asparagus? Magic asparagus?
Ooh, delicious.
Okay.
And I believe in you, Mike, and I believe in Joe Hendry. Perfect time for a break for me to get more
good.
water.
I like this. We're doing well. Yes. 36 American minutes. Okay. With pauses and
56 or
and
36?
36, not
Okay,
56.
thank
No. Ooh, folded ear again.
With all that said, Michael, there's so many things to pick.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
But what is your favorite thing in this episode?
You know what? We didn't. You know what? I'm going to be cheesy. The heck with it. The last bit where Bandit says to Bingo, I think it is, like, do you believe? And then he just says for a moment, and you see the starry background of the glowy stars, which I haven't gotten for, like, have you done glowy stars?
We have them, and they're currently sitting in a box in our house, not put on the walls.
I had glowy stars, but it was when he said, do you believe in fairy tales? And when he says that, and it does the montage, and you see, no matter how they met, doesn't matter because they're there now.
Oh.
And when he says that, you see Bingo or Chili and Bandit tucking in the kids, and they stand there together for a moment, and it doesn't matter how they met. the fairy tale happened, and it's the most wholesome thing in this episode because Bandit's a butt cheek and is just razzing on Stripe, and it's just this. He's like, I don't know. What do you think? Do you believe in fairy tales? And
Love it.
Super wholesome. What about you? What's your favorite thing today, man? I gotta get out of that space because
I gave it to the VHS pause.
Yes!
Like when we were talking about, wait a minute, what's that? And then just like, and you just have the track. And it's like, that's just fun. They didn't need to do that. They did it. And it just, such just like a cheap, like 2 second, like, ha, love it.
gosh.
Classic 80s.
Yep. So if that's the case, go for it. Who's your favorite character today, man?
Going off the rails a little bit on this one, I'm giving it to Bob.
Oh, he's giving the rare appearance.
Because it's only second time. I also saw in there he's the longest stretch of episodes between a returning voice character.
Ooh.
Apparently in this, from the first time Bob spoke in Grannies, the OG Grannies, to this.
Holy cow. When they FaceTiming him and trying to, how do you floss?
But just you can't speak. You know what I call that? A good start. That gets me every time.
It's so,
And just dadding hard in that moment. Let's go, Bob.
That's so
wherever you
good.
are.
Yeah.
Mike, who's your favorite character?
Oldest brother. I'm gonna give it to Rad.
Ooh.
I like Rad today because he was trying to stick up for Stripe, and it was the facial expressions when he was back and forthing between Bandit and Stripe because he was mad at Bandit being like, dude, you're being a butthead. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And looking at Stripe, he's like, okay, cool, because like Stripe hit the skid, and Rad's like, yeah, and then Bandit's like, oh, couldn't do it. You're like, dude, encourage him a little bit. Like I would assume Rad was an encouraging brother.
Yeah.
I would hope, but
Good old Rad.
there I am. Here we are.
So then how do you rank Fairytale?
I think today I want to rank this. I'm going to call back to you. One unexplainable perm for Nana.
Poor
Because
Nana.
I don't think poor Nana.
Someone lied to her just like mullets.
But hey, they're still in. I was told they were cool. What about you, Greg? You know what? The heck with it. Let's go for it. Can you do it? Can you rank episode 130 of Two Bandits Watching Bluey, of just Bluey? How do you make Fairytale?
I give this one 80 nostalgia points. See what I did there?
Because it's still the 80s.
Because it's still the 80s in my heart.
Can my favorite character be Pat?
Sure, why not?
I can't be Pat.
Whatever.
Ah!
Thank you, everyone in podcast land.
Thank you!
linktr.ee/watchingbluey.
That's us. We
Merch,
still do
Patreon, socials, all that jazz.
Yes.
T-Public, Cameo, you know the stuff.
We're out
Thank
there.
you to Sam Jennings,
Oh, jeez. Got
Who,
the heads up ski.
who let us know that they've changed their own Spotify. I don't know how to log into Spotify podcasts. Do you?
I do, but that's
Did
on
you?
me. I haven't yet.
Next
No,
week,
I've seen it. I've been out.
I
of
believe
We've
in
both
Mike.
been losing voices. We're both getting back together and hanging out. So we'll get back to it at our proper
Get
skills.
back to it.
The way we do.
Hopefully somebody gets back.
I owe you one though, because that was a quality email too. That
It
was.
was. Thank you, Sam. Hopefully somebody gets back to sending something to our P.O. Box. It's been
Yeah.
pulling cobwebs.
Greg's been
P.O.
fooled
Box
a couple times.
2372 Syracuse, New York 13220. It's so sad because I do informed delivery. And I was like, you've got something at the P.O. Box. Like, great.
Hey, Greg.
And it's like a political ad.
What's
And
an
I
informed
said-
delivery?
And it's you sign up with the USPS, United States Postal Service, and they send you a preview of what's coming in your mail.
So you get a heads up.
Yeah,
It's
an
like-
email. They don't send you like in
Yeah.
your mailbox a picture of your mail.
And
That'd
we
be
see
weird.
photos in the email of we got something coming from this, and then it's like they're telling you to support local New York State people.
Yeah, so send us something. That'd be cool of you.
Yeah, appreciate. And I'll
And
say
laugh.
something back.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We sign little stickers. We send them back to you. We like thank you for talking to us because we like talking to you.
We do.
We
And what else we like is lastly,
and geez, and most importantly, I'm sorry. Oh geez. Oh gosh. Is it a barcade video game arcade
I wish.
in Australia?
if you want to look good like Nana, why don't you check out Elysian Hair Salon in Brisbane.
Yep.
Brisbane's urban oasis of hair happiness.
Hair
Our
happiness.
friendly and welcoming talented team are passionate about creating beautiful hair and dedicated to making you feel incredible.
I feel incredible
Experience
right now.
the award-winning expertise, best professional products, and unparalleled service. Get your perm today.
Get your perm.
Set your appointments at ElysianHairBrisbane.com.au.
The one and only, folks.
The
Come
one
on.
and only.
Oh.
Appreciate y'all dealing with my sassy, raspy voice.
Oh, you sound wonderful and fantastic.
Hopefully it'll be clean up next week, and hopefully our audio producer extraordinaire got all those coughs out.
I don't know what you're talking about. No coughs.
But until next week, friends,
Oh, gosh. I don't know.
it's got to be done.
It's got to be done, folks. That's what we're here for.